Hello all and welcome, and I am the MGTOW philosopher. And in this video, I would like to talk about an article whose link was sent to me by one of my subscribers. And it was written by a woman named Pamela Clark, a PhD candidate. So it doesn't even have a PhD in political science. Imagine that. That's amazing how many of these supposed political scientists come out as feminists. Same way with sociology. Very interesting. So we have another feminist slash communist here with some helpful advice for men and 35 practical tools for men to further the feminist revolution. What is this nonsense? First of all, why don't you write about furthering the masculinist revolution? Oh, men don't need a revolution. That's right. You have to continue to push this narrative of men somehow being patriarchal and in charge so that women can actually continue to say they have valid reason to be feminist and continue to push feminist agendas and continue to try and essentially gain so-called parity with men that they don't yet have when in fact they're actually superior. But that's not enough. You women, you now rule the world. More of you are working than men are. Something like 57% of the workforce in America is now women. You make more money than us now. Oh, but that's not enough. No. You have to rule everything. You have to be our lords and masters and, crack the whip at us and literally crack the whip, I'm sure, is what they would like to be the case. Oh, no, we have to kowtow even more to you because you're so special and wonderful. I see. So let's read this crappy list, shall we? And let's start with the introduction. 35 practical tools for men to further feminist revolution. Yeah, we should help destroy ourselves. Sure, you're my enemy and you're attacking me and you want to destroy me, and I should help you. Of course, I'll be a dumb little simp cuck moron and help you destroy myself. On Facebook, a friend recently linked to an article called 20 Tools for Men to Further Feminist Revolution. Although he liked the list, he correctly noted that most of the suggestions were quite academic. He's a pussy. His comments are prompting me to create a list of more practical tools. Most men, particularly men who benefit from multiple forms of structural Can you name them? Can you name them? That's all these feminists do. They just say structural privilege, but they don't actually name the supposed privileges. Because, of course, if they did, that would be an actual argument, and then a man could tear that argument apart. So just say structural privilege, that's all you have to say. Do many things in their daily lives that directly or indirectly contribute to the culture of gender inequality. Yeah, you're unequal to us men. But that's our fault. That's not because of nature. Even men who support feminism in theory can be not great at applying feminism in their everyday practice. Yeah, because I'm not a fucking woman. You go be feminine and stop asking men to push your female agendas, you cunt. The list entails suggestions from some practical tools all men can apply to their day-to-day lives to foster equality in their relationships with women. Why? Women are not equal to me. Why would I want to foster equality with them? And to contribute to culture where women feel less burdened, unsafe, and disrespected, as if they don't already have that. What do you want to create? Little egg bubbles with wheels? They're like plexiglass that can drive these little egg bubbles around and then nobody can touch them. And these egg bubbles weigh 10,000 pounds. You couldn't tip them over and you couldn't touch the woman inside. And then she drives in a little fucking garage at her workplace and the door closes automatically behind her and she's got her own private staircase that'll take her up to her little fucking cubicle. That's what you want, isn't it? Boy, talk about special treatment you're expecting. Yeah, you want women to be even less burdened than they already are? Get out of here. It's for disrespected. Women don't deserve respect because they have a fucking vagina. Part of living in a patriarchal society. We don't live in a patriarchal society, you dumb cunt. We never have, we never will. If we lived in a patriarchal society, it would be us men that would be driving around on those little fucking egg-shaped bubbles that were plexiglass with the little wheels and have our own little fucking garages that would take us to a little fucking cubicle. We would have designed a society to serve us, not serve women, you dumb cunt. Is that men are not socialized to think about how their habits and attitudes harm women. Bullshit, that's not true. That's all they're socialized for. You just want it to be even more so we'll be even more so your servants. This list is meant to push men to think more consciously and personally about the direct and indirect effects they have on women. Why don't you start thinking about the effect and indirect effects you have on men? Oh, that's right. We're second-class citizens and not worth consideration. Fuck you. And to think more about how they can contribute to feminism. I don't need to contribute to feminism. You say that as if feminism is some kind of automatically accepted thing that's perfect and right, and that it's like a de facto positive position in society. No, feminism is evil. I will not contribute to it. The list is not intended to be exhaustive or exclusive. It's not 35 tools, and that's not exhaustive. Holy shit, bitch. What do you want? Jesus Christ, if that's not exhaustive, what is? Talk about unrealistic expectations. They want unrealistic things in men, and they want unrealistic things in society, and we're bending over backwards to give those things to them. Fuck you. Certain items on the list will apply to some men more than others, but if you're a man and a human, oh, of course, any human being, no human being could possibly disagree with you. I guarantee there's at least one area on this list where you could make an improvement. I'm sure I could. Insofar as what you would define as improvement, if you think there's something we've missed, tell me. Of course. Tell me. Help me to destroy you better. Yeah. If you think something on the list is problematic, let's have a conversation about it. Let's not. I'm not going to help you improve upon your tactics for destroying my fellow men, you cunt you. So, without any further ado in this crappy introduction, let's get right to the list, shall we? Number 1. Oh, do 50% or more of the housework. What? What the fuck you talking about, bitch? Do 50% of the housework. You need to do your share of housework all the time, of your own accord, without procrastinating, without being asked, without making excuses. What are you, my mommy? You're my fucking mother? What do I even got to explain myself to you? It's my motherfucking house. I'll do housework. I'll not do fucking housework. And you're going to tell me what to do. But of course you're a woman, so you think you should. What is this bullshit? And by the way, what if I'm earning 100% of the money? What if I'm earning 100% of the money? See, she doesn't take any kind of special circumstances into account. I mean, what if I'm working and she's sitting home all motherfucking day? What if I'm making all the money and she's making no money? I should still be doing 50% of the housework? That's utter bullshit. This is your typical feminist. This is someone who wants 100% to benefit and in no way suffer any kind of consequence. In fact, she wants to be treated special, not equal, because equal isn't me doing 50% of the housework, because right there you're saying that whatever job the woman does, it's more important than the job the man is doing. If that man didn't go out and earn that motherfucking money, you wouldn't have a fucking house. However, by the way, why is he, by this logic, she should be going to his workplace and doing 50% of his work? This makes no sense. Recognize that our domestic habits or our internalized ideas about unpaid domestic. It's not unpaid, you dumb bitch. You're getting free food, you're getting free rent, you're getting free electricity, you're getting free water, you're getting free gas, you're getting free internet, you're getting a free phone, you're getting free clothes, you're getting free vacations, you're getting free trips, you're getting a free car, you're getting free car insurance. What are you talking about free? You dummy? You're being paid quite a bit. Everything's taken care of. Everything you need to survive, and then some. Ay. Talk about a moron. About unpaid domestic work, hugely gendered, hugely benefit men. Benefit men? Benefit women, too. No. He's benefiting from the fact that he works all friggin' day, and everything she does, he could do himself. And when he wasn't with her, what do you think he was doing? He was doing all that shit himself. So let's not take a fucking molehill and make it into a motherfucking mountain. Any bitch can throw clothes in a machine, and then it stops, and then throw them in another machine. And it's not like she's drying them or she's standing there all fucking day blowing on the clothes, trying to make them dry quicker. You know, no. Her work is very small and minimal compared to his, and that's still considered splitting tasks. But his job is much harder, and as far as intensity goes, much more difficult, much more stressful, and yet you expect him to come home and do your work too? Fuck off, bitch. Number 2, do 50% or more of emotional support work in your intimate relationships and friendships. What? Recognize that women are disproportionately responsible for emotional labor, and that being responsible for this takes away time and energy from things they find fulfilling. So essentially, I should do half the housework so you can watch more Oprah and eat more fucking bonbons and, sit there and do nothing. And I should also invest more emotionally in the relationship. I don't even know what that fucking means. What does that mean to invest more emotional labor? I don't even know what that means. Maybe a woman knows what that means, but I don't know what the fuck that means. More feminist bullshit. Number 3, consume cultural products produced by women. What the fuck does that mean? And whatever your interests are, French cinema, astrophysics, baseball, bird watching, ensure that women's voices and women's cultural There's a woman's culture? I thought we were all human beings. I thought we were all equal. I thought that men and women were the same. How the fuck do women have their own culture if you're not the same? How are you equal, which just means same, if you have your own goddamn culture? Wouldn't your culture and my culture be the same? But now there's some kind of women's culture and I need to feed into that? You see, this is just how feminists are. When it suits their purposes, we're all the same. Okay? And then when it doesn't suit their purposes, we're all different. Or when it does suit their purposes. Either way, if it suits their purposes for us to be different, we're different. If it suits their purposes for us to be the same, we're the same. They're all over the motherfucking place. Consume cultural products produced by women. I don't even know what that fucking means. Jesus Christ. Number 4, give women space. What? You bitches ain't got enough space already? America and other Western countries are pretty big. What does this mean? Many women walk around, especially at night or while alone. Yeah? So what? Who told them to do that? If that's a bad thing, they shouldn't do it. Feeling on edge and unsafe. What the fuck do I care how they feel? I care about how I feel. I don't live in their heads. I live in my head. Why should I care about how they feel? Because it's a woman. You are implying here that women's feelings are more important than mine because I have to change my behavior to accommodate their feelings. What about them changing their behavior to accommodate my feelings? Oh, no, can't have that. Men's feelings don't matter. Being in close physical proximity to an unknown man can exacerbate this feeling. Oh, sure, because all men are rapists and scumbags, right? Just go out there and make every woman afraid of men. Yes, well, that's what feminism is all about anyway. Keep men and women apart because there's a bunch of fat, ugly, grotesque, Jabba the Hutt-looking motherfucking women out there who want to keep all sexes apart. They want to keep men and women apart because they're all bitter and angry because they couldn't get a man. And they want other women to be as unhappy as they are. Recognize that this is not an unreasonable fear for women to What do you mean? Being afraid of all men isn't unreasonable? Are you retarded? Are you fucking retarded? People taking political sciences seem to me more likely than not to come out of university as fucking communists and morons and leftists and feminists to boot. It's not unreasonable to fear all men. Oh, no. That's not an ideological statement that's dogmatic to the core, you dumb cunt. Given how many of us have experienced harassment or abuse. Yeah, right. You have a nice ass, honey. Woo! Like that dress. What the fuck? Harassment or abuse. And by the way, there have been studies done that show that great-looking men, hot-looking guys, actually get more catcalls than women do. The only difference is that men are stoic and they just shrug it off, and women are pussies and they whine and complain about it. And of course, they've been taught by feminism that doing that and playing the victim will get society to change for them. They don't have to change for society. Of course not. Made them feel unsafe by men when they are in public spaces. Also recognize that it doesn't matter if you're the kind of man or woman who has any actual reason to fear because a woman on the street doesn't have a way of knowing this about you or not. What's your point? I don't have a way of knowing if some bitch is a crazy nut job that's going to pull a knife and stab me in the throat if I look at her for 2 seconds. What's your point? Your way of dealing with things sounds like being paranoid, you dumb cunt. Just be paranoid of all men, and all men should essentially do their darndest to feed a woman's paranoia. I see. Very reasonable. Examples? Oh, God, we got examples now. If a seat is available on public transit next to a man, take that seat rather than the one next to a woman. What? So now you get exclusive rights to not only the space you can take up, but the vacuum around you. So I need to create more space for you to make you feel comfortable because your feelings, your subjective view of reality is my most important concern. That's my greatest concern. Not me. And if I'm comfortable, oh no, I should be concerned about how comfortable you are as a woman. Because you are the most important thing in the fucking world. Oh, I see. If you're walking outside in the dark, close to a woman walking alone, cross the street. So now I have to cross the street. See, this is what I don't like about this leftist bullshit. First, okay. Telling me what I should not do is one thing. Although, but if you're telling me what I should not do, and what I should not do is impacting my life, and what you're telling me I should not do is not anything that's illegal or wrong, right there you're already infringing upon my freedom. But now you're telling me to take positive, affirmative actions as to what I should do to make other people feel better, and that's fucking tyranny. You can go fuck yourself in the ass with a giant black fist, bitch. If a man is it's absurd bullshit cross the street. Are you kidding me? Absurdity. Oh my God! If a siege of the public sands, take this. If you were walking outside in the dark, walking across the street, suggesting not to worry, someone is following her. Yeah, I really give a shit about her paranoid ass, worrying if I'm following her or not. Please, if her mind is so weak, if she is so pathetically weak that she can't go out on the street without being afraid of who might be following her, if she sees a man and she gets so terrified, she should go live on the fucking moon where there's no people, okay? She should move to some desert island if she's so fragile and such a fucking snowflake that she can't handle living in the world with other human beings around her. You fucking dumb cunt, you. Go fuck yourself. You've been living in academia for too long, PhD candidate. Have you ever had a real job? Have you ever lived in the real world? You fucking idiot. Number 5. Shit really chaps my ass. But insert yourself into spaces where you can use your maleness to interrupt sexism. Oh, I see. So I'm an evil man that should essentially make room for a woman and give her space until it serves your purpose. Then when you need me for something like to lift heavy shit or to defend you, then it's okay for me to enter your sphere of influence. Examples: challenge men who make sexist comments and jokes. If you see me, a female friend at a bar, at a party, or on the subway, wherever, looking uncomfortable as a man is speaking to her, try to interject in a friendly way that offers her an opportunity for an out. Well, how do I know she didn't want to speak to him? I mean, by the way, ladies, this is a wonderful way to end up alone forever. I mean, don't you ladies realize that the person writing this is a big, fat, ugly land whale who's far too intelligent for her own good, but not intelligent enough to realize this is bullshit, and she's all wrapped up in her feelings of bitterness and hatred toward men because no man has ever wanted her and no man ever will. So she's so angry and bitter that she wants every other woman to suffer. And all of this shit is designed to make women suffer. You're not hurting men with this shit unless they're dumb, pussy, mangina wimps who actually do what this says. You're not hurting me. You're making it easier for me not to have to deal with you bitches. But you're certainly hurting future generations of women, and they don't care because misery loves company. If you see a situation where a woman looks like she may be in distress while in the company of a man, of course, because men are evil. It couldn't be in the company of a woman. Another woman couldn't be a problem. It has to be a man, of course. Stand nearby enough that you make yourself a physical presence. Yes, because it's every man's job to defend women, even though they hate us and they don't want us around, but we should still monitor and watch all the women around us. And by the way, wouldn't that kind of be creepy? And wouldn't that make women even more apprehensive in public? All these guys staring at them and looking and monitoring the situation to see if there's going to be an opportunity for them to jump in and be a white knight. And that's all this is doing, is teaching men to one time be white knights and to also be pussy wimps. So be a white knight, which essentially makes you a pussy wimp, and then hate yourself internally because all men are bad, or all men should be seen as bad because many are, and so you should acquiesce to the feelings and the subjective views of women across the street and not sit by her because, of course, this could be interpreted as somehow to make her uncomfortable. Yeah, okay, whatever. Total nonsense. Next, number 6. When a woman tells you something is sexist, believe her. This is just like the rape bullshit. Like that video I made about the believe her narrative, where it talks about how you're always supposed to believe a woman who says she's been raped. Why would I believe her? Why? Give me an example. Give me a fucking argument. She just says it's sexist. I say, why? She says because it's sexist. Oh, circular reasoning. I see. Why would I believe her? Why would I believe her? Oh, you're looking at me. That's sexist. Go fuck yourself, cunt. Your own subjective emotions are not reality and are not to be believed without argument, that makes sense, without logic, without reason, that makes a sensible, reasonable point. Your feelings are not that. Number 7, educate yourself about sexual consent and make sure there is clear, unambiguous communication of consent in your sexual relationships. Meaning get a signed contract for fucking. I see. Utter nonsense. Unambiguous. So if she's drunk and there's consent, but the next day feels like, no, I take it back, I could go to jail. But if I was drunk, but I was drunk also, doesn't that mean she raped me? Oh, but no, a woman can't rape a man. But there was no force involved in either case. It was just a matter of consent based on 2 people, one of them being unable to give consent because they're drunk. But that's me as well. Oh, but you're a man, so you're a second-class citizen. So the right to avail yourself to the privilege of that protection does not apply to you. Oh, I see. Number 8, be responsible for contraception. A man, let me tell you something. Women have like 11, 12, 13 forms of different contraception. Men have 1. Condom. It's 96% effective. The pill is 99% effective. And there are like 10, 11, 12 other forms of birth control for a woman. There's 1 for a man. So who should be responsible for contraception? Oh, maybe the person who doesn't want to get knocked up. I see. The one that's going to suffer the most direct consequences to the action of not using contraception. I see. But it should be the man's responsibility, even though he only has 1 form of contraception, and it's the one that's most prone to failure. I see. If you're in a relationship where contraception is necessary, often use methods that do not have health risks for women. Hey, bitch. Hormones, surgeries, there's like 12, 13 different forms. They're not all hormones. You're full of shit. Go ahead and play on men's ignorance, you dumb cunt, and treat these as preferable options. They're not preferable. They're not preferable. Women are just fucking lazy cunts. They don't want to buy anything, spend anything, be responsible for anything. They want to have as little responsibility in life as possible because they're lazy, cheap fucking cunts. That's why they want the government to pay for everything, and they say fucking contraception is their right. Bullshit! There's no such thing as rights. You have privileges, and those are earned. If your partner prefers a particular method, let her be in charge of making that decision without questioning and complaining about it. Don't whine about condom users. I'm not whining about condom users. I would use a fucking condom. Hey, kidding me? But let her be responsible. Let her use fucking contraception too. Jesus Christ. There's like 12, 13 different forms of contraception. And many of them don't have hormones or surgeries involved. So you cunts are just essentially trying to lay the blame on men as usual, and be responsible for buying them and having them available if that's the method you're using. Oh, and of course you would expect me to buy them for her as well, no doubt. Of course. I knew it! I was right! Assume financial responsibility for any costs related to contraception. Women earn less than men. And this bitch managed to throw in the wage gap myth. Women do not earn less than men, bitch. And also have to assume all the physical risk of pregnancy. Right, so you should be using the contraception. You're having sex too, bitch! You need to pay too! The sex is equal. Whatever happened to equality? Oh, equality only applies when we don't have to spend money. When we have to spend money, you need to pay for everything, okay? We're less equally responsible when there's money involved. Oh, okay. I see. Number 9. Get the HPV vaccine. If you're a young man, get it. If you're a young son, ensure he gets it. Since women are the ones who are disproportionately affected by the consequences of HPV, as a matter of fairness, men should be the ones who at least assume the potential risks of getting vaccinated. What am I, a fucking guinea pig? This is like old Germany back in the fucking World War II and shit, where the Germans were using all these so-called undesirables to test vaccines and shit out on them. Are you kidding me? Sure, there's potential consequences. So let the men do it. You should be doing it, men. You should be sacrificing yourselves. You should be taking the potential risk. We shouldn't have to take those risks. No. We believe in equality, but you should have to take the majority of the risks. We believe in equality and everything, but you need to put your ass on the line, not me. I'm too special. I'm too wonderful because I'm a woman. Okay. Number 10, have progressive name politics. What? What? If you and your female partner decide that the institution of marriage is something you want to be involved with, of course, in saying that, she's implying that it's less desirable. Which, yeah, I agree. But for different reasons. Be willing to both keep your existing surnames. What? Really? So not only do I get nothing out of the marriage, but if I have kids, I don't pass on my name. The kid gets the name. Oh, gets her name. Interesting. If having a common surname with your spouse is important to you, be willing to change your surname and treat this as preferable option to her changing hers? What is this horse shit? Why am I changing my motherfucking name? I'm giving up a hell of a lot more. I'm supporting her lazy ass, okay? I'm giving her everything free. I'm working myself to death. Why? And not only that, but I don't get to pass my name on. I have to take her name. Why? Why? If you're all about equality, this fucking bitch. If you're all about equality, I could even see each person keeping their name, but then again, what about the kid? Oh, that could be up for discussion, who gets the surname. But now you're suggesting that I should take her name in all instances. Yeah, that's real equal there, you cunt. You clearly show your pro-female bias, and that feminism is nothing more about women being superior to men. Next, retarded tool to improve women's lot in life. If you have children, be an equal parent. Now, this is asinine, because women tend to focus on the things they do, and they want us to do more of those things. But what about them doing more of the things that we do? I mean, if they were all about equality, wouldn't they be doing more of the things we do, and then we do more of the things they do? I mean, isn't she implying that everything she does is more important than what we do, and that she's actually doing more than we do, and thereby we need to do more because she's doing more than us? That's stupid. Where's this assumption coming from? What the truth is that women are lazy. Women don't have much stamina. They're just lazy. They want to pawn off their work on other people. So they essentially try to spread this false impression that women's jobs as a homemaker, which, by the way, they hate. And they don't want to be homemakers, as feminists, that is. And they don't want women to be homemakers. And so they spread this false image, a marriage is horrible, it's oppressive, all that. But if you are in a marriage, you should do half of her work. Okay, why? I'm going to work all day. I'm fighting traffic. I'm getting there. I'm going to spend 8, 9, 10 hours there. I'm going to come home. I'm going to expect a meal. She's been home all day doing very little. What's supposed to be work. A glorified fucking babysitter. And she's doing more work than me. Really? And then, of course, I'm supposed to come home and do half her work and give her some kind of break. When was she coming to my workplace during the day? Where's the quid pro quo here where she's coming in and doing half of my work? If it was really about equal, wouldn't I go home and spend half my day at work with the kids, and then she would go to my workplace and do half of my job? What is this horse shit about you having to somehow do some of the woman's duties? This is absurdity. I mean, first of all, this isn't practical, because she's probably not qualified to do the job you're doing at work. And I don't think your boss at fucking work will let you and your wife swap places. So it's not practical what's being talked about here, first of all. So the best way to arrange things is to have one person at home who's taking care of the house, and the other person is taking care of the finances and working. That is equal. This horse shit that essentially gives women even less that they have to do and less responsibility is just a further proof of the trend I'm talking about, where women want to be more and more and more superior to men, but less and less responsible. They want all the perks, but none of the responsibilities of equality. Which it really isn't equality at all. They don't want equality. It's what I've been saying. This word equality is bullshit. It's just a changing of definitions, and it's a misrepresentation. They say equal, but that's not what they mean. They mean superior, and they are. Number 12, pay attention to and challenge informal instances of gender role reinforcement. For example, if you were at a family function or dinner party, pay attention to whether it's mostly only women who are doing food preparation. Huh? What? What if that's their job? What do you mean, gender role reinforcement? Who's enforcing gender roles? You hire the best person for the friggin' job, and if it happens to be a man, it's a man. If it's a woman, it's a woman. What is this gender role nonsense? Oh, I see. The jobs that people take essentially are about roles that are being artificially enforced by employers and stereotypes, and not because the people who sign up for and put resumes forth and apply for those jobs just happen to be one sex or another sex overwhelmingly because of their biological preferences. I see. If it is, change the dynamic and implore other men to do the same. What about nursing? Do you have a problem with the fact that the majority of nurses are women? What about teachers? That something like 83 or 87% or something of teachers are women. Why don't we go into those jobs and try to flip the script? Because, of course, that is a gender role enforcement that is false. So we need to change things. Oh, no. We only need to change things in jobs where essentially men are being represented, or it's a menial job that a woman is being put in. And yeah, I see. Very interesting. Next. Oh, boy. Be mindful of implicit and explicit gendered power differentials in your intimate domestic relationships with women. Whether a partner or family members or roommates, work to recognize where inherent structural power differentials based on race, class, gender, sexual orientation, intersectionality, and so on. Where you benefit from, well, what about where women benefit from these types of things? Is that bad? Oh, no, it's only bad when men benefit in some way from some kind of structural... yeah, but of course, can you name the areas where they actually benefit? Can you name them, and can you name why or how they're benefiting? Oh, they're just benefiting. We don't know how, but they are. Okay. Where you benefit from these structural imbalances, educate yourself about privilege. By privilege, yeah. I see. Is that why like 90% of homeless people are men? Where's our privilege there? Is that why 65% of people in college are women? Where's our privilege there? Is that why women get many times the amount of health care that men get? I'm still looking for the privilege. Is that why that women are twice as likely to get a job if they apply as a man? Where's my privilege? I see. No privilege, you just say so you yourself can continue to get more privilege. For example, if you're in a domestic partnership where you're the primary income earner, educate yourself about the gendered wage gap. There is no gender wage gap, you dumb cunt, you. And work on dividing labor and economic resources within your household in a way that increases the economic autonomy of your partner. What economic autonomy? Hey, so she's more free of me and my oppressive maleness for paying all her motherfucking bills and giving her an easy life. Poor her. Boo-hoo. You gotta be kidding me. Number 14, make sure that honesty and respect guide your romantic and sexual relationships with women. Does she do the same? Oh, that's implied, of course. She's always respectful. Yeah. The way you treat women with whom you're in a relationship is a mirror of your values about women in general. They suck. They're good for fucking. That's it. You want a mirror? There it is, baby. Doesn't work to espouse feminist theory and then treat your partners like trash. I don't espouse feminist theory. I just treat them like trash because they love it, you dumb cunt. You big, dumb, fat land whale, you. But you wouldn't know because no man would touch you with a 20-foot pole. Be upfront and open about your intentions. Communicate openly so that women have the ability to make informed, autonomous decisions about what they want to do. And if I let her know I'm only interested in fucking, I don't have a relationship with her, and I'm just interested in objectifying her, would you be happy with that, fatty? I bet you wouldn't. And you'd find some other feminist claptrap to say that that's evil, too, even though she's been given informed consent. You cunt. Don't be an online bystander in the face of sexism. Challenge people who say or post sexist things on the internet. I'm one of the people doing it. Number 16. Good. Be responsible with money in domestic romantic relationships. What are you talking to me for? Men are the ones that save money. Women are the ones that frivolously spend it. Know that if you're irresponsible with money, I love how she talks down to men and somehow tries to flip the script and change things so that she can try and represent that men are irresponsible with money when 95% of the time it's women. I just love it. How all of society is trying to make women into what men really are and then cast men into the roles of women. Wonderful. This necessarily impacts your partner, and since women still make less than men. That is a lie. That is a lie. That is a motherfucking lie. Where does it? Women make less. They don't earn less for the same work, you dummy, and they make less because they make different life choices. One of them is having kids and spending less time in the workforce, and they don't work as much overtime, and they tend not to work as hard as men or as many hours. But what? You're an idiot. They still make less than men overall and live longer. This is a feminist issue. I hope she's not saying men live longer. That's demonstratively false. Example, your credit card debt, money, wastage, gambling, problem impacts. How many men... bitch, you're just pulling things out of the fucking ether. Gambling debt. It's probably some problem she had. I'm moving on. Number 17, be responsible for your own health. Men go to the doctor less often than women. That's because there's less health available. There's less help available for men. I mean, when it comes to male cancer problems, there's like a 10-time differential. Women, there's 10 times more help available for breast cancer than there is for prostate cancer. I mean, what? There's less help available. Men go to the doctor less often than women for issues troubling them. Yeah, that's a problem. I got to admit, men are less likely because we are stoic. And when they do, it's often at the urging of women in their lives. That's probably true. To have a long and healthy partnered life for both you and your spouse means being responsible for your own health, noting any issues and taking them seriously. Since we're dependent on one another. No, we're not dependent on you, bitch, but you're dependent on us, you cunt. You'd like us to believe that's not the case, but it is. Your long-term health is also her long-term health. No, my long-term health is her long-term financial stability. But as far as I would agree with this point partially. But the other bullshit she said, no. Women are dependent on us. We're not dependent on them. Number 18. Don't ogle or make comments about women. What? Why not, bitch? I can't. So you're going to tell me what positive affirmative actions I can take and what I can't do in a free society that's perfectly legal? Go fuck yourself. I'm going to ogle and make as many comments as I motherfucking want. And you don't like it? Guess what? Kiss my motherfucking ass, bitch. Go live in a cave somewhere where you don't have to interact with anybody. Keep your tongue in your mouth and comments to yourself. No. I'm not going to do that. I know that you want to live in a socialist utopia where there's no freedom of speech, except you get to say what you want to say, of course, but you're so stupid, you don't understand that if you get that fucking utopia that you think you want, you won't be able to express yourself either. But you think it's really just us, the enemy, that will be silenced, and you'll be in charge. Wrong, bitch. Even though women may be more prone to wearing more revealing outfits than men. Why is that, by the way? Why is that? You don't want to be objectified, but you wear more revealing outfits. Why is that? Oh, because of the patriarchy, and the patriarchy in men, they place so much emphasis on that. They make us wear those more revealing outfits. Oh, I see. Don't ogle them just because you want to and can. Why not? You're not giving me an argument here, honey. You're just saying I shouldn't do it. You're not saying why. And by the way, I just said why you think so, and I'm saying fuck you. Though you may find someone attractive, there's a line between noticing and being creepy, disrespectful. What is that line? And who decides what's creepy and disrespectful? And by the way, you don't deserve my respect. You have to earn respect, all right? You get common courtesy. That's what you deserve and nothing more. It makes the women being ogled feel uncomfortable. So what? Lots of things happen in my day that make me feel uncomfortable. I don't impose my beliefs about how other people should act to make me feel comfortable. I don't go up to somebody and say, hey, well, you're looking at me, or you're glancing my way, or the way you're snapping your fingers and blinking your eyes, it makes me uncomfortable. You need to stop doing that because it's directly impacting my feelings of safety and security and mental well-being. People would look at me like I was a fucking psycho. But you somehow get away with this shit? I'm supposed to not look your way? What makes you so fucking special, bitch, that I can't look at you? Go fuck yourself. Fucking cunt. You self-entitled, self-important bitch, you. Pay attention to the gender experts and key figures presenting information to you in the media. Number 19 is a joke. This bit is just telling us to essentially listen to the fake media because the media knows what it's talking about. Just don't listen to anything online because the stuff online is a lie. Right. The media is feminist. The government is feminist. The education system is feminist. That's why she wants us to listen to it because they're all leftist. They're all cultural Marxist, which is all feminism is. So we should listen to it to further indoctrinate ourselves to serve this dumb, fat cunt land whale. I see. Number 20, ensure that some of your heroes and role models are women. And how do I do that? What do I watch Wonder Woman 700 times till I eventually find her heroic? What are you talking about? And by the way, that's the only hero out there is a fucking fantasy hero. What am I going to, Nancy Pelosi? Am I going to look up to her? Who are you talking about? Show me these women that I'm supposed to be looking up to and seeing as a hero or a role model, because I'm not seeing them. You don't choose your heroes or role models. These are people who embody certain virtues that you admire and respect, and you can't choose that. That's just who you admire, who you respect, who you see as a hero isn't a choice. It's about them reflecting certain virtues and a certain nobility and just certain beliefs and the way they live their lives and the things they've done. Those things resonate with you. That's not a choice, you dummy. Yeah, dummy. You can indoctrinate me all you want. I'm not going to be worshiping women because you tell me I should. Do something of note, and then maybe you'll be a fucking hero of mine, you dumb cunt. Number 21. Oh, look at this. Number 21 is exactly what I was just talking about. Praise the virtues and accomplishments of women in your life to others, in everyday conversation and in communication in general. Talk to others about women you know in a positive light. Oh, I see. So just take random women and fake admiring them by trying to force myself, by making myself talk about a woman and searching for whatever good thing I can say about her. So this is being disingenuous. I see. Be disingenuous and say nice things about somebody, even if you don't really feel them, just so you program yourself to see more good things about women, and then you'll eventually end up creating those things about them and admiring more women and seeing them as more virtuous and having accomplished more in their lives than they actually have. Interesting. Suggest your female friends for projects, jobs, collaborations with other people you know. So not only am I supposed to do my best to actually put more effort into looking at women and trying to find the good things about them that may not even exist, by the way, but now I have to make positive actions to go out and try to promote females I know and get them better jobs. Any man that does that is a total fucking moron and is advancing his own doom. Number 22, have integrity with your male friends. Of course, it has nothing to do with being a male or defending maleness. It's always going to be about protecting women and defending women and advancing women. Of course, you watch. Don't be a bro when a male friend is doing something sexy. I knew it. Every single thing here talking to a man has to do with a woman. There's nothing about men. Masculinity is toxin. Everything's about women. Talk about self-absorbed. Is doing something sexist, being a deadbeat dad. Deadbeat dad. You bitches divorce a man, and you marry him, and then you run up debt. He buys a house, buys a car, spends all the money that he has, gets himself into debt. Then you divorce him. You take half of everything that he's owned, that he's bought, and then you put him in even more debt, and then you require him to pay for 2 households now instead of just one, and he can't pay, and then you turn him into a deadbeat dad, and then you castigate him for being a deadbeat dad, which you made him into. Down-talking women, ogling women, secretly spending shared money. When does that happen? Women don't have any money. Lying to their partner. Have integrity and say something to your friend. No, it's none of my business. I mind my own business, okay? I might give an opinion, maybe, but it's certainly not going to be to defend women unless he's actually objectively wrong. But I'm going to go out of my way to be a champion for women. I know that you want to create as many white knight, pussy, cuck, simp, assholes as possible, but I'm not going to be one of your pawns, honey. Next, 23. Don't treat your spouse like a nag. If she is nagging, you are probably lagging. Oh, I see. Again, it's men's fault, of course. Even though if you go back 2,000 years and you look in the Bible, when the Bible was written, it talked about stoning your wife to death if she nags you. Oh, so women have always nagged. It's a woman's problem. Oh, but it's our fault because we men just aren't doing enough to please them. Could it be that women have unrealistic expectations? Could that be the case? No, it couldn't be that women are just self-entitled little children, could it? No, it can't be that they're entitled and that they believe that they deserve more than they do, that they have unrealistic expectations like a child would, and essentially feeding those expectations just makes them want more. And so they need to you need to shut them down when they nag and when they complain because they're not getting what they want. we should just give it to them. And if they nag, that automatically means we're doing something wrong. She's not doing anything wrong. No, a woman can't nag and be in the wrong. A man is always in the wrong. I see. That makes no objective sense, but of course, coming from a woman, what do you expect? Number 25, befriend females. Why? Why on earth would I be friends with a woman? What's the point? If you don't have any female friends, figure out why you don't and then make some. Why? Why? They're stupid. They're not as smart as a man, generally speaking. They have nothing interesting to talk about. I'm not interested in makeup, clothes, shoes, handbags, hairdos, shampoos, body washes, body lotions, body oils, loofahs. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. Kardashians, big asses, small asses, Dancing with the Stars, all that shit I don't care about. The Bachelor, stupid TV shows. No. So why would I want to be friends with a woman? I have interests in politics, philosophy. These things don't interest women. They don't. So why would I be friends with them? And I don't even get to fuck them if they're my friends. Figure out why you don't and then make some. Nope. Make sure they are authentic, meaningful relationships. What does that mean? What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. Authentic and meaningful. What's your definition of authentic and meaningful? You relativistic cunt, you. See, that's the problem when you're a leftist. You create all this ambiguity, and then you try to use words. But your words have no meaning. You've created an environment that's too relativistic for your words to have any meaning. What do you mean by authentic and meaningful? Now, if I was talking to a normal person, I would know what it means. But talking to a leftist scumbag like you, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about because you're all over the place, and you just use words willy-nilly, and they mean whatever the hell you want them to mean. The more we care about and relate to one another, the better chance we stand of creating a more egalitarian society. Oh, that's the last thing we want. We don't want it to be. It's already too egalitarian. And by the way, that's artificial. If you have to chop my legs off so that we'll both be the same fucking height and equal, there is a problem. You are essentially handicapping the strongest. And by the way, it looks like I missed 24. Know that acknowledging your own sexist opinions and stereotypes that you hold is not enough. Do something about them. No. Bitch, please. My opinions and stereotypes that you call sexist, no, they're reality. And by the way, what you're talking about is deconstructing myself and then reconstructing myself to be what a feminist would want me to be. The perfect man, which is actually like a woman, who, by the way, they hate. And I made a video about this. The perfect man and why women hate them. It's very interesting how women want to change men so much, and then when that man changes, she doesn't like what he's become. And then she says, oh, where are all the good men? Yeah, you changed them, you dumb bitch. Number 26. Find female mentors, leaders. Why? Why would I do that? Women make crappy leaders. They make crappy mentors. They make crappy teachers. If you're seeking a mentor or want to volunteer with an organization, go with a female or female-led organization. Why would I do that? Women are horrible at that kind of stuff. No fucking way I would ever hire a woman to be a leader, nor would I want a woman to be a mentor. I'm an old guy anyway, so if anything, I'm going to be your mentor. I'm going to be a mentor to somebody younger. I'm certainly not going to enlist a woman to mentor me. I'm too old. I'm fully cooked. You leftist, feminist scumbags, you cannot influence me. You cannot manipulate me. You cannot deconstruct and then reconstruct me to be a nice little fucking feminist leftist robot. Doesn't work. I am your enemy. And the same goes, oh, you idiots out there, fucking leftist scumbags. I'm your enemy. And guys, mentors, leaders are always going to be men. Women suck at those kind of things. Name for me some woman in history that did something outstanding. Name for me some woman in history that changed the world, that invented something, that created something, that pioneered something just in the past 100 years. Take some time to think about it. Yeah, I can't think of anybody either, because there is nobody. They don't exist. And there's a reason why they don't exist, because they suck at that kind of stuff. They suck even worse at that kind of stuff than they do other things. Give me a break. Female mentor. Get the fuck out of here. Number 27. when in a romantic relationship, be responsible for events and special dates associated with your side of the family. Well, they are my side of the family, so if I was dumb enough to get into a long-term relationship with a woman where she's meeting my family, which, by the way, thankfully all my family are dead, so that would never happen. But if I had that happen in my life, which I never have, thankfully, but if I was stupid enough to have done something like that, I certainly would. I mean, of course, if it's my side of the family, I'd be responsible. But I somehow think that there's more to this than just this title. It's going to play back into the woman and somehow making her happy and having to do with her, not me. Remember your family members' birthdays, anniversaries, and important events. What does this have to do with any significant other I have? Don't rely on your spouse to send cards, make phone calls, organize reunions, etc. If it's my family, yeah, that probably should be my responsibility. But then again, it depends on how busy I am. And why can't she do that? What makes her... By the way, is she going to do the same for her own? I mean, probably. Give me a break, though. This is really... I mean, this is a very small, petty thing. This is the kind of shit that feminists are really a harp on. Like manspreading and mansplaining. Who gives a shit? Who decides who contacts who? This is some petty, dumb shit because feminists have run out of real problems to complain about. Who contacts who? Yeah, I agree with this, that if it's my family, I should probably be contacting them. But then again, at the same time, you could also make the case that her, as the person who handles the domestic side of things, and because I do all the work and make all the money, that should be her responsibility, even if it's my family. You could make arguments both ways, and honestly, I think it would depend on both people sitting down and talking and communicating before they get in a relationship about who has what responsibilities. But I can't imagine people sitting down to talk about getting married and who have what responsibilities, and this coming up, because this is some petty bullshit. Moving on. Number 28, don't police women's appearance. Women are taught to internalize intensely restrictive beauty norms from the time they are small children. Of course, that's men's fault. We should just all love big fat women. And if we all just love big fat women, then women could indulge their great fantasy, and that which would essentially be to eat whatever they want, and they could be big fat land whales, and we would still find them attractive. Unfortunately, it has nothing to do with a choice on our part. It's biological because we are attracted to fertility, and fertility is represented in a healthy body, not in a big fat tub of goo body. So we have no choice over that. And by the way, ladies, you objectify us men as well and make us internalize restrictive standards in regards to our worth as a man based on how much money we make. So fuck you in this double standard bullshit. It goes both ways, honey. The day that we stop judging you by your beauty is the day that you stop judging us by how much money we make. Yeah, that'll be never. Don't do or say things that make women feel like they aren't meeting this norm. Why not? What the fuck you talking about? It's not healthy for women. I should just let her get big and fat and not say anything? Honey, am I fat? Do you think I'm fat? Yeah, you're a big fat cow. Lose some weight or I'm leaving your ass. What's wrong with that? Or create pressure on them to meet. Why not? You want to have no responsibilities in this world. Isn't that it? You want to just go through this life as some pathetic, do-nothing slug that gets everything handed to you, and you get all these privileges just because you have a vagina, and that's why you're threatened by things like sex dolls and shit, and you just want no responsibilities whatsoever, and we men should just do all the work and serve you because you're the fucking queens, you're the chosen master race. I see. At the same time, it's equally not a feminist response to do or say things that pressure women to use their body to resist these norms if they don't want to. Recognize that there's significance. Of course, it's not a feminist response to do or say things that pressure women to use their body to resist these norms if they want to. Recognize there's significant social sanctions for women who disobey beauty norms, and they shouldn't be expected to act as martyrs and accept the sanctions if they don't want to. Martyrs? Now you become victims. There's a lot of double talk here. Essentially what she's saying when she says that recognize there's significant social sanctions for women, meaning there's consequences to women if they don't adhere to these beauty standards, which we all know is bullshit, with all these big fat land whales now becoming models and showing up on the fronts of fucking magazines and shit that used to have hot chicks, and they got these big fat ugly chicks showing up, and by the way, these magazines ain't selling anything except the big fat women. And So, which is, by the way, these magazines are like the Vogue and all that shit, but good-looking women ain't buying them. But since more and more women are becoming big fat land whales, those are selling. But any men's magazines that sell mainly to men, you're not going to see like a Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue with big fat land whales in it. No. All these fucking magazines that cater to women, yeah, they're selling to women. But so what? So essentially, women should just be able to become as big and fat and disgusting and ugly as they want, because it's easier to be that way than to take care of themselves. And we men shouldn't try to stop them from being big, fat, ugly cows who don't take care of themselves. I see. It continues to say, whether according to your personal aesthetic or ideals, you think she wears too much makeup or too little, removes too much body hair or not enough, it's none of your business how women choose for their bodies to look. I see. And yet you tell me where I have to walk, where I have to sit, what I have to say, what I shouldn't say. That's none of your fucking business. Fuck you, bitch. Number 29. Offer to accompany female friends if they have to walk home alone at night. I'm her servant. She wants to essentially draft all men into being servants for women. So we have to cross the street to get away from women because it'll make them feel uncomfortable. But if we know her, we have to cross the street to make her feel comfortable. This is all about serving women. The society has become so gynocentric. Every aspect of it is about serving women and making them feel better. Well, that's not equal at all, when no part of society is about serving and making men feel better. In fact, it does the opposite by essentially making fun of us and not providing us with nearly the same amount of privileges. 90% of homeless are men, 87% of suicides are men, something like 93% of workplace deaths are men, 57%. Did you know this? That 57% of the workplace jobs now are women. And they make more money now. So what exactly what part of society is serving men now? I mean, and it's not good enough, though. Women need it to be even more their way. This is what I've told men for years. Women will never, ever, ever stop taking until you stop them, until you impose consequences, until the hammer comes fucking down. Women will always take. They will continue to take. They will empty that fucking cookie jar, and they won't put more cookies back in it after they empty that motherfucker. All women ought to do is take, unless you as a man impose some consequences. They will never stop themselves. Their conscience, their ethical, whatever ethics they might have, their conscience will never kick in and stop them. They will always take until they are stopped. Number 30. Inject Why can't I inject masculinism? I'm a man. Why can't I inject masculinity? Oh, masculinity is toxic, you scumbag, you. Femininity, that's what you should be aspiring to. But isn't it masculinity that, built the world? No! It was femininity! Who built that fucking skyscraper over there? I built it! Because I gave birth to the man that built that motherfucker. I mean, I don't know where the reasoning comes from. This is the kind of reasoning you're going to get from a woman. Little to none. Inject feminism into your daily conversations with other men. If your father doesn't do his fair share of housework, talk to him about why it's important. Excuse me? First of all, my father's dead, so I'm not going to be talking to him about anything except whether or not he would turn over in his grave if I did any of this shit. What nonsense. Inject feminism. So let's say when my father was alive, I went to him and said, hey, Dad, you're not doing enough around the house. You come home and collapse, exhausted, and you're fucking lazy, boy. Because you're not fucking lazy. You're working your ass off all day, fucking lifting heavy shit and fixing machinery and doing all this manual labor. But you should come home and do some more work at the house. Yeah. I can imagine what his reply would have been. And it was going to be the same as mine. Fuck you. I work all fucking day. Kiss my ass. If your friend cheats on his girlfriend or speaks negatively about her, oh, so my job is to police other men. That's not to police women, of course. I can't police women. I can't police women's appearance. I can't police anything about a woman. But I do have to police men and put them in line and be a white knight policeman and make sure that men toe the party line, the feminist party line. I see. interesting. If your friend cheats on his girlfriend or speaks negatively about her. Yeah, because we can't be saying bad things about women. You can say all the bad things about men you want because it's perfectly acceptable to insult men. But you cannot say bad things about women because they are the chosen ones. They are the master race. They are better than us. We are just second-class scum. We are just on the bottom of women's feet, and they scrape us off. Talk to him candidly about respecting individual women with whom he is intimate. Respecting, I did a video called Respect. Women believe they deserve respect. You don't deserve respect. You earn respect. Having a smelly hole between your legs does not mean you should automatically get respect. If you don't earn it, you don't get it. Individual women with whom he's intimate is part of having respect for women in general. What about respecting men? Oh, no. No. Men oppressed us for 10 billion, trillion, million years, so they need to be fucking oppressed now and disrespected. What about two wrongs don't make a right? Oh, that's bullshit. Oh, no. It does make a right when we're righting the wrongs. Isn't that the ends justify the means or the means justify the ends bullshit? Oh, no. Not if I'm a woman. I see. So the ends do justify the means if you're a woman, and because you're a man, of course, you can be stomped on and treated with disrespect. But not the other way around. No. 31. If you have a tendency to behave inappropriately toward women when you are under the influence of drugs or alcohol, do not consume drugs or alcohol. I don't, and I don't. So whoop-de-fucking-do. And this one I would actually have to agree with. If you can't hold your liquor, don't fucking drink. This might be the only one I actually fully agree with. So look at that. Out of 35 points, we found one to agree on. Ooh, we're making progress. I hope not. Be aware of the physical and emotional space you occupy. What the fuck you talking about, bitch? And don't take up more space than you need. What does that mean? Oh, mansplaining? Manspreading? I mean, what you talking about manspreading? Use your fair share of airspace in conversations. Give as much to relationships as you take. Don't sit with your legs split. Oh my God, I knew it! Manspreading! You stupid cunt! Let me explain something to you, honey, that you might not understand. Well, there's a void between your legs and there's nothing there but a hole, an emptiness, much like with your head. We men have a cock, and some of them have a big cock. Some of us have a really big cock and really big balls. And we can't sit with our legs like squished together because it like hurts and it like damages those balls, okay, that we will need to have kids, which apparently you don't want because the way you fucking want to fucking design the world, no men and women will ever get together and have kids, which is, of course, the ultimate goal of feminists. So really, how can I, you're expecting me to make myself uncomfortable to make you comfortable. And what about woman bagging? What about when the woman puts her big fucking bag and takes up 2 seats? What about when she puts her bag on the seat next to her and nobody can sit beside her? What about that? Which they do as often or more than manspreading. Oh, that's different. That's our personal property. Where are we going to put it, on the ground? No. We can't do that. We're women. We need someplace special to put our stuff. Oh, I see. Oh, so what about my balls and cock? Oh, that's not important enough. My fucking $2,000 Gucci handbag is more important than your nuts. I see. Number 33. Walk the walk about income inequality. Women still earn about 77% as much as men. I knew she would get. She already got this. She got this in here before. So now she's put this in here twice. Bitch, men earn less than women now. There is no wage gap. There's an earning gap, but that's different. Let's say if I work 50 hours and you work 40 hours and we're both paid the same, guess what? Inequality. But why is the inequality there? She doesn't look at the individual circumstances that contribute to that inequality. Just let's lump all of the salary and all the money men make together and all the salary and all the money women make together, and then let's just compare them. And let's not look at individual groups or people of certain ages or people that have been married and haven't been married. Because when you look at the, for example, the numbers for women that have have not been married and who are single at, say, age 30, they make more money than men. It's only the women that have been married and have kids that don't, because they've had years and years out of the workforce. They tend not to work as much because they have family obligations and such, and they have to balance their life. So this is horseshit. This woman is getting a PhD in something, anything. You know it's pseudo bullshit that she's getting a degree in, because she's a fucking moron if she still holds to this wage gap myth, which has been debunked more times than I can count. So I'm moving on. Next, 34. Get in the habit of treating your maleness as an unearned privilege. What? That you have to actively work to seed rather than femaleness being an unearned disadvantage that women have to work to overcome? You gotta be kidding me. So let's see if we can decipher this bullshit. Now, seed means to give up. So you get in the habit of treating your maleness. So my maleness gives me some kind of privilege that I haven't earned in society. Yeah, if there's a war, I'm going to be conscripted and have to go off and die. Well, I'm too old, but other men, well, be conscripted to go. And of course, I did expose myself to that possibility for most of my life, which you didn't. But I somehow didn't earn my privileges. I see, and the taxes I pay, which are far more than yours, and I've never used welfare. And women overwhelmingly take more from welfare, take more in money from the government than they put in the form of taxes. But I'm somehow living and enjoying a comfortable life because of unearned privilege, being a male, and I have to cede my male privilege, meaning give it up, and I need to look at taking on female qualities and feminist traits, and not seeing taking on feminine traits and mindsets as a disadvantage. And by the way, a disadvantage that women have to work to overcome. No, it's, I see. Turn myself into a woman. Essentially what she's saying is, stop looking at being more feminine as a disadvantage. It is an advantage, so you should be working harder to make yourself more feminine and less masculine. I see. Interesting. Why didn't you just come out and say it in those terms instead of trying to couch it in this gobbledygook, double talk bullshit that's typical for leftists, this intellectualized nonsense? Oh, because you still haven't reached a point where you've got enough power to be that bold, where you just come out and say, okay, we want you to be more like women and we want to be more like men. Ah, I get it. Number 35, finally, you long-winded cunt, you. Self-identify as a feminist. I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to self-identify as a feminist. No, I think I will pass on that one. Speak about feminism as a natural, normal, uncontentious belief, but it's not. There's nothing natural about feminism at all. Feminism essentially teaches that, now this is true feminism, as its doctrine teaches it, which women don't live. And by the way, I talked about this in my video, Feminists Are Losers, where feminists don't even live by the teachings they propose to other people. So, speak about feminism as natural, but it's not. Men and women are not equal. Normal, it's not normal. In fact, it promotes abnormal behavior, such as treating women like men and men like women, and trying to make men into women and women into men. Uncontentious belief is in no way uncontentious. If it was uncontentious, it wouldn't be so unpopular that women are now trying to call themselves anything and create new names for feminism because feminism is so unpopular. Because it should be. No, it shouldn't be. That's your belief. That's your subjective belief, because your life would be even more better if everybody believed that. It would be much better, I mean, your life is already quite easy. You are the most privileged class in the world as a white, feminist woman in Western society. Oh, but you want more, of course. Just like I said, don't hedge and use terms like humanist or feminist ally. Yeah, because something like a humanist would actually be more akin to equality than feminism, which isn't in any way about equality. Yeah, worrying about the needs of a human being. No. We need to call it feminism, even though we're just worrying about the needs of a human being, and we're worried about equality of men and women, even though we really just care about making women superior. So we can't, right. Well, we get you, honey. And by the way, why is it so important that you use the word feminism, feminist? Why don't you use the word masculine, masculinist? Or why don't you use a word like equalist? That would mean you are for equality of both genders, which you're not. because it's not about that in any way, shape, or form. It's all about brainwashing people and putting forth the view that the feminist female ideal is the best and right one. So you call it feminism because, of course, you have to have this best, most right ideal coming from women, not from men, or not from men and women. It has to be proposed and championed by women. So we have to call it feminism, of course, that reinforce the idea that the F word itself is a scary word. Bitch, it is scary. Look at what you cunts have done to the West. You have destroyed the country with your feminist intersectionality horse shit. And you will continue to do so until more and more men go their own way and through attrition beat your ass until they starve you of resources, until they starve you and you can no longer feed the government with your irresponsible spending. And of course, you're going to continue to take as much money in taxes. But you need us as well because the government does not supply enough money to feed your need for resources. So the government needs us to simp to you as well. And the more of us that walk away from doing that, the more starved the government will become. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a long, long time, but eventually things will change because the government's going to run out of other people's money. And the sooner men walk away, the sooner that'll happen. I am the MGTOW philosopher, and I wish you a good day. Take care.